Good day everyone, I am Christine, the moderator for this webinar. I welcome everyone to today's webinar, that is Getting Started with QuickBooks Online. I would like to introduce our presenter for today, Cindy McCucken. Cindy McCucken is a top-notch seasoned software trainer specializing in both the desktop and the online version of QuickBooks. I would now like to hand over the floor to the speaker. Over to you, Cindy.
Thank you, Christine. I really appreciate it. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I started to say good morning. It's about 1 p.m. I'm in Eastern Standard Time. How's everyone doing this morning? I am going to start for briefly. We're just going to take maybe 3 minutes and talk about the subscriptions that Intuit offers, because if you are new to QuickBooks, you will have to start with one of these. Once we decide on the description for you, we're going to go in and customize QuickBooks a little bit, get you familiar with the screen itself. We will be looking at the options in QuickBooks. There's quite a few of them. Probably the big thing we're going to talk about today is working with the chart of accounts. And then we'll wrap it up today talking a little bit about how to sync your QuickBooks accounts, mainly your bank accounts and credit cards, with the bank so that you can download transactions. Subscriptions that you can start with and some of the pricing. If you need more than one user, maybe you have a remote employee, you will want to upgrade to the Plus. And if you need to have more than 5 users, you'll upgrade into this advanced right here. If you're tracking inventory, you're probably going to want to work with the Plus or the Advanced. You will not have inventory options with Simple Start. Now for class today, there is a practice file we're going to use, and if any of you want to practice with this file, all you have to do is do a Google search on QuickBooks Test Drive. You can see that right here. And that gives you these 2 practice files that you can work with. We'll just look at the advanced one today. So over on the left-hand side in this black area, you have what's called the navigation pane. These are where you have different options that you can choose. If you see one that has an arrow that points to the right, that means there's a sub-menu there with some additional choices. The next part I want to mention to you is across the top here, you've got your search. All right, you do have a business feed, which is more of the AI type stuff that's in QuickBooks. And what you'll notice is that it just gives you an overview of a few things. Now on the other side over here, you've got some options down here where it says bank accounts. These are bank accounts that are synced with your bank. Now there is an option to contact a QuickBooks expert. That's someone that works for Intuit. This is what's new in QuickBooks. So what you'll find is that when a new feature rolls out, or maybe they change something, that they don't roll it out to everyone at the same time. Okay, so what you might find is that your screen may look a little different than your neighbors because maybe you've got something rolled out that has not been rolled out to them yet. You can see the way they have this set up is the first column has to do with accounts receivable. Those are your customers, people that buy from you, businesses that buy from you. Whereas the second column have your vendor options. Those are your accounts payable options. This is typically the screen that you see when you first come into QuickBooks. We call this your home screen. This is a list of all the users you currently have set up in QuickBooks. You'll also need to know where this reconcile is. There are some options for time if you're tracking project reports. These are accounts that are synced with your bank. You can see they've got 2 bank accounts. They're checking and savings. And there's also a credit card account over here on the right-hand side. Underneath your 3 boxes you see here, you have items that are set up for review, meaning these. So you need to kind of keep up with this. This is going to be really, really important. And that way, if you need to undo this, you can, or if you ever wanted to delete it permanently, you could select it and hit delete. When you're looking at your bank registers here at the top, you can pull down this list and go to whichever register you'd like. If I scroll to the bottom of this list, everything in QuickBooks is date driven. So the very first thing ever entered in this account would be at the bottom. So let's talk for a minute about the different types of accounts you're going to find in QuickBooks. The first type are going to be bank accounts, and the next type is going to be what we call your asset accounts. But your credit card accounts, those are your actual credit cards you use to purchase items for the business. Liabilities. In accounting, there are 2 types of liabilities. There are short-term liabilities, and there are long-term liabilities. Another one I want to mention are your equity accounts. Yeah, so here's a good example of what your expense list will look like. So just keep in mind too, when you're working with the chart of accounts, you can add as many accounts as you like.
Thank you, Cindy, for the great presentation.
Okay, I appreciate everyone being here. If you need to contact me, feel free. And we are going to wrap it up for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy. That concludes the session for today. Thank you everyone for participating. You may all disconnect now and have a great day.